Welcome to the Wellness and Beyond podcast, where we explore the challenges and opportunities facing the pharma and wellness industry today. Today, I'm thrilled to be joined by Dr. Naresh, the founder, director, and principal consultant of TVR Pharmaceuticals. Welcome, Dr. Naresh. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you very much.
I'd love to start off with a little bit about yourself, what inspired you to launch your business.
For sure. Just to go back to a few years of nostalgia. By profession, I'm a doctorate, PhD in biochemistry. So I graduated from Germany. So after having my PhD in biochemistry in a proteomics topic, proteomics and molecular biology, I'm a scientist by profession. So I moved to Canada. I worked for Canadian government for some time as a research scientist, as a research fellow, and spent good time in research and development, R&D, in cancer research, anti-aging, and with the core expertise in molecular biology and the proteomics. So very advanced research. I was very fortunate to have that opportunity. Spent good time in advanced technology, the tools that we are using now, including the tools that we used for the COVID vaccine, all those tools, we were the first generation of students we were using in the laboratory, had to use that in our PhD. So I was fortunate, had a good opportunity in the research, spent good time. And then after that, spending some time in the research and R&D, I thought I should move on to corporate world to see how I can put my. Of course, I was in the research R&D. It's a vast ocean, but later I thought I need to have a little more specific what I want to do and see my product. And I want to prove myself on with my own skills, could grow something on my own to say that this is what I built, rather than swimming in the ocean. Of course, R&D is a pretty long journey. Then I moved into the corporate industry. When I moved into the corporate industry, the core expertise that I could bring in here is the drug development, drug testing, all the studies and research that you do it, that someone who could review can make sense, prepare a dossier, make as a right submission for the drug. That is a more core task for any drug approval. And then this is a very critical point for any pharmaceutical companies and nutraceutical companies to get the approval. After doing all the research and development and the product has been developed, what if they don't get the approval? So that's the knot. That's where the bottleneck is. So I thought, okay, that's where my expertise would fit perfectly, because I come from the laboratory where I was a person who developed, working in the shoes to develop those drug development, doing those studies, generating the data, and then making those results, observations, everything. So then why not me, the person to compile those results and then prepare the dossiers and submit to the regulatory bodies, so I could help the pharmaceutical companies in that sector. And then always I wanted to prove myself and build something to say that, yes, this is done by me. I want to see my product in my eyes. And then that's a job satisfaction I always look for. Also, this is for the scientific point of view, but also I have the other ambition that every person should be independent, to prove that caliber. And this is possible only when you stand on your own legs, on your own feet, and then on your own shoe, and then prove that this is done by me. That's why I encourage all the young generations. You should come out if you have the caliber. You should come on you if you have the confidence to do what you're doing. If you have the confidence and then you know what you're doing, then you should come out and start your own business and then prove it. That best opportunity to prove yourself. Having all these ideas when I come out of the laboratory, then I thought, okay, I should start this consulting firm as a TVR Pharmaceuticals. I started this company where I started serving a lot of pharmaceutical companies. And then, of course, I'm coming from a research background, I have the vast experience in drug development and also very open-minded to learn any new topic. So that helped me to build this company in serving the regulatory affairs, compliance, qualities, audits, whatnot. I do everything. And then not only for the pharmaceutical drugs, I also have the same knowledge, the same regulations, same compliance standards, maybe not to the same standards, but a little less for the nutraceuticals, dietary supplements. So, and then also similar standards and compliance applies to the medical devices. Science is same, that applies to different products and different segments. So then I also started working for some controlled substances when things were getting legalized in Canada and USA for cannabis products. Then a lot of ambiguity on the testing requirements, the safety, the contaminants, all these things. Then where I bring a lot of my chemistry background and biochemistry background and testing requirements. So altogether, I enjoyed this journey. It was just started as a drug regulatory approvals, but I expanded my knowledge and then scope, because once I come out, and that's the reason I wanted to start these companies, the sky is the limit. You can start exploring the opportunities, and then you don't have to work in a set up a four walls. This is your job role, 9 to 5, work on this. No, that I have to explore, and I explored, and then that's gave me opportunity to serve more than 250 companies so far. Fortunately, being working for pharmaceutical, nutraceutical, cosmeceutical, medical devices, controlled substances. To some extent, I have from big food brands when they have some quality issues. So this is all. So the motto behind all this work is every day morning you wake up, want to learn something new. Never you should feel saturated. So that's the motto, the inspiration. Every day I wake up, any new project comes, let me learn, let me work on this, let me find out. Not just in cancer research I was working, not just in anti-aging I was working, but now I have a vast expertise. That's what I tell my clients now. The expertise that I bring into the table for my clients is starting from sourcing the right ingredient with the right quality and the manufacturing, regulatory approvals, and then bringing into the shelf. Everything I could provide that expertise. That's something that very unique in the industry. Not many people could provide that expertise, and then I was so fortunate and proud to be that. So, and my clients are pretty happy with that.
So you work with companies all over the world, basically, worldwide.
Yes, I'm trying to limit myself for certain regions to avoid the travel, but that's it's but when it comes to the drug regulations, and then most of this, the drug is a drug, whether it is in this part of the world or eastern part of the world or wherever it is, and then most of these drug regulatory agencies in the developed countries, they follow the ICH guidelines. So that means they all have the same similar standards of quality compliance. Maybe the terminology is small specs difference, but most of the standards. That's the reason. Once I know that this ICH guidelines, and then I know the drug standards requirement in one market, I could apply it to every market. So most of the time when I work for these big pharmas or big companies, big clients, they're always not focusing for one market. They wanted to go for multiple markets when they develop a drug. So that's the other thing I offer. Okay, when you have a drug that you want to submit in US market, of course, FDA and Health Canada in Canada. I do it for South Africa, Brazil, Anvisa, or Australia. It depends on the customer. Of course, the clients now is a competitive market. Now, when they spend a lot of money in developing a drug, it's not just for one market. So, and then, as I said, my expertise is in drug and then human standards and the human consumption toxicology profiles. All these things is all same. There is no borders for these drug regulations, in my belief. Yeah, I have a major focus is the US and Canadian markets. And then when my clients need, I also supported them for European markets and Australian markets and the Latin markets. So in bottom line, I say, yes, I support the global markets.
Wow. You're a busy man.
Keeps busy. That's good to be busy, and no complaints to be busy.
Exactly. What would you say is your biggest success thus far?
Biggest success is, as I said in the beginning, why I had to start this when I had a job. The job was an assigned job, but when I started this business, when I look into the market now, when I walk into the store and I see news, oh, this is my client, this is my client, this is a startup I started helping. There are companies I started the journey in 2018, 2019. Now you look at them, they started with a small office at the startup with a few products. Then I started helping them for the drug development, product development, regulatory manufacturing, everything I supported. Now I see them with multiple product lines in the marketplace. So proudly, I would say yes, one of the brain, not totally my brain, but definitely one of the person. So I see my product. So that's the satisfaction. And then when walk into the stores, when my daughter sometimes reminds me, oh, Dad, this is the product. I saw you working on this. So what else? The guy working day and night for the development of a product, see successful. And then when you see that it's a well known in the marketplace, and then from friends says that, oh, I come across a good product. Do you know the man behind it?
Yeah. And I mean, what a good example for your daughter to see.
She's a teenager, but she is very excited to come with me for some expos and then some meetings and to learn about the labels, requirements, compliance. Because end of the day, it's not only professional people, but every common man should know what product I should consume, what not. Why there is a lot of information on the label. Many people don't look at the label, they look at the brand name. No, please, there is a caution statement, there is directions, there is a contraindications. You should read them. This is the safety information. And I'm so proud to see that she goes and talks to her friends in the school.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Because if you know better, you'll do better. That's how it works.
True. Yeah, I come from So when I started, there is nothing, but when I look back now, how much job satisfaction I see that so many brands. No, that's never. From the day one, I took this challenge at risk. Of course, it was a young family, and then took the risk of beginning of my career as a consultant, starting this company. But I don't want to, because this is a job where a lot of confidential information is involved. I don't want to put my legs on the two boats, and then there's a conflict of interest. when I work for a company and then helping other company. No. And as an independent consultant, of course, I deal with many companies now, but I maintain that confidentiality. I'm not an employee of one company, so that I could be a consultant to multiple. That's respectful for the professional world. So definitely, I don't want to commit for one company. But as a consultant, and that's another challenge that I always see as a consultant. When you talk to the people, sometimes both of your clients are the direct competitors. Well, you know both the sides' information, but you're not the person to share the information of those sides. So you have to have the professional confidential maintenance, and then you have to avoid those conflict of interest. And then sometimes if it comes to the very to the point where probably you may have to drop one project if that is coming there, because there are some ethics involved in the business too. Not only that, but it's a very interesting journey. A lot of learnings, not only scientifically, but business and also how to customer relations, client relations. That's one thing I learned, and then I achieved. Today, I'm standing as a successful consultant, a so-called, at least for myself, I feel yes, I have made this journey. As I said, I started this journey. It was a risk taking. Can I build this business, or I'm going back to the job? But the key success I noticed here, not just the scientific knowledge. There are many people like me, the scientific knowledge are even more knowledgeable than me. But the key success here is the communication, presentation, and maintaining the ethics to the level of you have to maintain that confidentiality between the projects. And there are other challenges, of course. We try to achieve rest everything, but this is primarily, I feel, that core important.
Wow. And what would you say are the trends that you're noticing in the industry now?
That's one thing I'm very fortunate to work in this industry to see the trends, especially it's a trend that whole world is experiencing, especially with the social media, and then especially in the healthcare industry. What else is better than the change that you need if you're a human being? The biggest change that you need in your health, right? Your lifestyle change, all boils down to it all boils down to your what you consume, how you maintain your health. So that's the industry where I'm working. The rate of change that occurs in this industry is very fast compared to 30, 40 years ago. There used to be one or two drugs in every decade, but there is a new drug every year. And you see that the people talk last 2 years about the weight loss. Before that, people talk about cancer or people talk about the trend changes very fast. I'm fortunate to be in that world and in the front end to know what's coming up next. And then especially the trend again is it's a constant change in pharmaceutical industry, and of course the change in money levels, the type of drugs that are coming in, the level of technology that is available to discover the drugs, and then the level of documentation that we provide. At the same time, the level of risk is also increasing, the change. So we have to align and get ready with all these things. And then as a regulatory agent, consultant, as an advisor to many pharma companies, I have to raise this alarm to all the pharma companies to make sure that we need to assess the drug for this additional risk assessments. There is another sector where I enjoy more, and then the right word that you said, the trend is applies very well is for the nutraceutical world, the dietary supplement world. I'm hugely involved in that. And then I'm very much interested in these traditional medicines like Ayurvedic, Chinese medicine, Korean medicine, translating them into the healthcare industry because they're more natural, they're more health, less drug involved. And they're called the natural health products. They are also considered the dietary supplements. We see a lot of these natural health products coming into the dietary supplement world in the last 10 years. When you see 20 years ago, and before 90s, I was not in the industry, but people say that now, my seniors, oh, when the vitamins came into the industry, everybody thought, what? Do we need to eat the chemicals? But now we are taking the same food that we're supposed to take every day as a healthy, natural greens in the form of a tablets, capsules, and making this change. This is the convenience of consumption of the food and the required ingredients or required elements for your day-to-day life in the form of a right dose, in the form of a right product is the big change we see every day. We have ready-to-eat meal. Now we have a meal replacement. So you don't need to eat a meal, you take a capsule to the level of change that we have seen last 10 years. And then we see every day some new indication, new green supplements coming into the market, weight loss or mental health or, sleep. It's a lot of replacements and trends coming in. As you see that the last 1 year, the trend is going on with the GLP-1 receptor. And now that buzzword GLP-1, that 1 year. We know, but definitely this is not going to be the same in next 2 years. There is another word coming in. This is a trend, happens very fast. As I tell my clients and my friends always, that change was probably, you see a change every decade, but now you see the change every year. And then probably the rate of, that's called the rate of change. The rate of change is going to be much faster in future because the technology increased, resources increased, people knowledge increased, everything is more sophisticated and advancement is much higher. And the capacity to discover new things is much faster. So that increases more rate, the change. So I enjoy these trends. And that's one big challenge to be in the front door, to know what's coming today, what came tomorrow, what is coming tomorrow. You should be the first one to be there because being the expert, you should be aware of those things.
Exactly. What would you say in your day-to-day life, in your day-to-day activities at work, your daily tasks? What is the one thing that you would love to, the one thing that really bogs you down and you'd love to speed up? Or if there's a thing that you could change in your daily routine, what would it be?
There's nothing that I don't like in my day-to-day, but the only thing is I feel that day is too short. 24 hours is too short. The time.
Everyone needs more time.
The more time, because I'm fortunate to have enough work, enough clients. There's always, I go to bed with my checklist on my table. I have 2 more things to finish. Okay, let me do it tomorrow. I wish I have time to finish these 2 more things. So that's my one target. I want to do that, to go to bed with, strike out every item in the checklist. So that's it.
Yeah, absolutely. What sort of advice would you give to people in your industry right now?
I always tell the people, as you need to know the depth of the subject. When you're working on a drug, it's not just answering the question. You should know the fundamentals of the drug or fundamentals of the mechanism of the function. Or a product, suppose you're taking one, I wanted to use this ingredient in my product. Why? This is very popular in the industry. No, you have to know why I'm using, what is the science behind it. You need to know the depth of the science. You cannot create something because you're not copying anybody. You're in an industry where you have to think and create something. To create something, you should know the depth and back and everything about this topic. So whatever the topic you take, I know it's industry very competitive, very fast, and very time, it's a fast track. So people don't wait for your thinking and time, but you have to squeeze the time. Make sure that you do enough research, give enough time to understand the science. Then only your thought process, your ideas, everything will make sense.
Is there anything that you'd like to leave the audience with? Would you like to share something with them?
The 2 things that inspired me to start this business. And then one thing is non-science topic, which is to have confidence in you. It doesn't matter what topic you're doing. Be confident what you're doing. If you know that you're capable of doing it, then you don't need to worry. You don't need to be scared of anything. So you go on your own, start your own business, prove it that this is your brain. That is the best satisfaction ever you get it in your life. And then second thing, who come into the science, just a few minutes ago, as I said, make sure that you are putting your brain and understanding in depth. Science cannot work so superficially. Just to drive a car, you need to know how does the car work, right? You cannot just keep on pressing the gas. Similarly, when you're working a drug, you're trying to work with the life of the people.
Correct.
And then second thing, you are playing with the money invested by big companies, a lot of money. So it's a very valuable time and resources you're using. So you should give the best by going in depth into the science and think and come up with the good ideas. Then only it makes sense. Otherwise, it's not worth of your time and money.
Thank you very much for all your insights. Where can people find you?
So as you see my name, Naresh Thumati. So I'm Dr. Naresh Reddy Thumati. So I have a website, nareshthumati.com, or people can Google Naresh Thumati, or in the LinkedIn or my website, Naresh Thumati. And there's a phone number, there's an email on the website. You can reach out to me. And people in the industry calls me Dr. T, well known in my space. The Dr. T, the LinkedIn or my website.
I like that, Dr. T.
Thank you. And then my email is naresh@tvrfarm.com. Anybody who has anything to do, whether you want to launch a product in Canadian market or US market, a dietary supplement, drug supplement, or drug product, or a dietary supplement, or a medical device, or a cosmeceutical product, or a food, what are the requirements? What are the regulatory requirements in respective markets? What are the standards of manufacturing? Or if you are a manufacturer, is my facility is in compliance? I audit the sites and give the gap analysis of what are the standards of GMP that you require. Or a company who want to start a new business, new facility, I can help them to write the right protocols to make sure that they are in compliance with the GMP. So let it be a product, let it be a facility, and make sure that they operate and then they are in standards in compliance with the respective regulatory standards. So that's expertise I bring in.